Hi, it's April. I'm checking in on a wonderful day. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you're listening to this. I wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between people. I know that I talked about that before, but it's coming up again in my heart as I ponder my two oldest children. My two oldest children are both girls. They are 7 years apart, and they couldn't be more different from each other as far as personality. One child is very preserved. She's very quiet unless she really has something to say. She's very insightful and she listens a lot, which gives her more insight into what's going on around her and the people around her. She could be in the house for hours and you wouldn't even know because she's so quiet for long stretches of time. You have to sometimes seek her out to get her to talk to you about deep things. She's great at discerning. She's great at decision making. She's stable, steady. My other child, you can hear her before she enters the house. Everyone always knows when she's around. She trips over things. She talks a lot. She is very opinionated. Everyone knows what she feels about everything all the time. She has the propensity to make a million friends. She is always surrounded by people. She has always drawn people to her. She has the proverbial gift of gab. She was the child who all the teachers liked her. All the teachers were her friend. Everyone was her friend. You know, she loves sharing what she knows. She loves emoting. She's very emotional a lot of the time. And these two children had to grow up together. One wanted peace and quiet, and the other wanted a grand entrance and a band everywhere she went. And it was hilarious to see that and to watch them grow up and see them become friends with all of the differences in their personalities. And when choosing leaders, when choosing the right person for the right job, I don't see how one is better than the other. And I want to be general, but I have to choose a specific example to make my point. So both of them are or were worship leaders, right? One daughter with that quiet personality, with being so reserved and all of that, once she got in front of the audience, her worship to God was so bright and shining. It was so next level powerful. People could feel changes in their body as they got healed while she was singing. The ground shook while she was singing. This quiet person who you couldn't hear in the house for 3 hours at a time was this powerhouse worship leader with a beautiful voice, which is kind of beside the point right now, but thought I'd say that. And you wouldn't see that coming. She was called and chosen for a certain thing, and her personality does not negate what she was called and chosen for. And similarly, or rather conversely, the one who makes the most noise at home has the most quiet worship. She gets her little guitar. She sits very still and quiet, and she sings very softly in the microphone. She's the one, she would play a few strands on the guitars and just start. Great is your mercy toward me, your loving kindness toward me, your tender mercies I see day after day. And she would just sweetly sing you into this lullaby almost. And it's the most beautiful thing, but it does not match her personality at home. And this goes back to that thing I was talking about before with equating being an extrovert with being a leader, when that's not always the case. Introverts can be leaders too. Introverts can be called to certain specific tasks by the Most High God. And you'd have to give it a chance in order to understand how the differences between people operate in the kingdom of God, because God knows what He's doing. He's not making mistakes. Humans make mistakes. God knows exactly how He designed that operating system. Much like the person who designed the operating systems of the computers that you work with. They know, and God knows. And that's why we have to ask Him, because we don't know everything. All we know is what we understand from our limited perspective. And that being said, I really want you to think about the difference between people and the calling that goes with who they are. They don't always seem to match, but they do work perfectly for the purposes for which they were created. All right, that's all I have to say about that. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace and blessings. Bye.